Hello there. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Cindy Flores, and I'm with my co-host Laura Daniels, and we're with Whitaker and Dupre Travel Partners. We're bringing you a fantastic webinar today with Susan Slaviter. She's a vice president and co-owner of Sports Empire Incorporated, a sports and special events tour company. Sounds so exciting, doesn't it? It also includes the Authentic California Vacations division. They specialize in California vacations. And they've been in business, including Suzanne has been in business for over 30 years. So she comes to us with a great deal of experience and expertise. Today, Suzanne is going to share with us a sample of a West Coast adventure, navigating the entire length of California from the vineyards of the north to the cities, the deserts, the national parks, to the beaches on the coast. She'll also share with us some of the sporting events that you may wish to combine with your California vacation, or others such as like the Kentucky Derby or the Super Bowl or the Indianapolis 500. The options and experiences are limitless. Suzanne, if you're ready, we're ready. Let's get this fun started. It's all you.
Thanks. Applause. Yay. Thanks, you guys, for having me. It's my pleasure to join you from sunny, usually. It's a little cloudy today, Southern California. As we were just talking about, I am a Bostonian, so you'll probably be able to understand me. I grew up back east, even though I've been out west now for over 30 years. I say I have the best of both worlds now. I come and go pretty much as I want. I spend lots of time back east. But I do love the laid back West Coast. So let's talk about California first. There's just so much to do. I was also just saying I just finished planning a honeymoon for a couple that were going to Italy on their honeymoon, but now I've decided to stay a little closer to home, but still wanted to do some wine tasting. So they're going to do the coastal that we're going to talk about and end up in Napa for wine tasting. So yeah, so I just put together a nice program, a nice package yesterday for some honeymooners. So let's start in wine country in Northern California. If you say you want to go to visit wine country, there's three regions, valleys in Northern California. There's the Russian River Valley, which no one's ever heard of, although it's one of my favorite valleys, and that's where a lot of the workers live. If you work at the wineries, you probably live in the Russian River. It's the most residential of the valleys. The middle valley is the Sonoma Valley, and many of you may have heard of that because they're also known for their cheese. The Sonoma brand of cheese comes from that valley. And then, of course, the Napa Valley. And here we have a picture in the background of the Napa Valley wine train, which is just a really unique and cool experience. We have it in almost every package that we do to wine country, because you get on the train in the morning around 10 o'clock. It's a gourmet meal. They give you a light breakfast. Then you stop at a winery around 11 for your first wine tasting. It's usually Mondavi, which a lot of you have heard of, Mondavi wineries, their first stop. Then you get back on the train and you have your appetizer and salad course. Then you get off and you visit another winery. You get back on, have a gourmet lunch. You can use, I think it's 3 entrees you can choose from. Get off at your last winery, which is Visa Tui. Not, I know it obviously because I've been many times. Not quite as well known. And then after Visa Tui, you get back on the train and you have dessert on your way back to the station. And it's just a totally gourmet meal. The whole experience is just upscale and totally memorable, because at the same time, you're taking the train through the valley. So you're getting to see all the wine and the vines and the grapes and the hills as you're driving between the wineries and drinking wine and having lunch. So as I said, we included in almost just about everybody who goes does experience the wine train. If anyone has any questions at any time, just let us know. There's a Q&A box or the chat box that Laura and Cindy will be monitoring for us. So I'm just going to keep talking until someone stops me, because I could talk forever. All right. So as we said, just there's some grapes on the vine. Russian River, that's where Coppola has his winery. Francis Ford Coppola has his winery in the Russian River Valley. And it was perfect. These honeymooners were going to get to Napa on a Tuesday. So I said, on your way to the hotel, we're going to stop at Coppola Winery for a tasting. He's got all his memorabilia there as well. But then they do this family dinner on Tuesday nights, and you feel like you're in a New York Italian restaurant. Waiters and waitresses are all acting as they're serving you, but they're acting like family, throwing food and all that kind of stuff. And there's more food than you could ever imagine. It's, you know, kind of like an endless buffet, but they bring it to you. It's served family style, just as you would in New York at an Italian family, have big plates of pasta and pizza and et cetera, et cetera. So that's always, but it's only on Tuesday nights. So if you are able to go on Tuesday, we always suggest it. So that's the wine country. I still go to some of the sporting events we'll talk about, but now I have to go to Napa a couple times a year. So life is just rough. Just rough. Okay, anything questions so far? All right, let's move out to the water, out to the coast a little bit, to San Francisco. I would live in San Francisco, except it's too cold. In the winters, it can get to be 50 degrees maybe, not negative 15 like Rochester, 50 positive, and that's still too cold for me. So that's why I'm kind of here down south. The lowest we get is maybe 60, 65. But I do adore San Francisco. I go quite often, ride the cable car. I do all the touristy stuff. However, now I kind of have all my favorite neighborhood restaurants that, of course, we'll recommend to for you guys to visit. Not just the touristy ones, but I still ride the cable car. Last time I was there, I still went to Buena Vista to have the famous drink that just went out of my mind that they have at the Buena Vista Cafe, the Kahlua and something, I'll think of it in Irish coffee. I still went and had one of those down the wharf. You can eat from the kiosks at the wharf. I go shopping in Union Square, the West Coast Macy's. It's like New York City Macy's. The flagship out here is in San Francisco, so I do that. All of those things that we can set up in San Francisco. And of course, city tours, bike tours, Segway tours, harbor cruises, under the Golden Gate Bridge. I can have a driver drive you over the Golden Gate Bridge, or we can get a car and you can drive over yourself. So all of those things that you think of when you think of San Francisco are all as awesome as they sound, and would be part of a California vacation, a Northern California vacation. Let's go south a little further now, Monterey Peninsula, Monterey and Carmel. I think this is the coldest place in California on the coast, but again, that's just me, but it's kind of windy there. It's often cold and windy here. I always have to wear a jacket, but look how gorgeous it is. And because it's so cold and the water is cold, that's why we get so much sea life out here. The Monterey Bay Aquarium is and that's my husband and our thing is aquariums. We're members. We have our Long Beach Aquarium here. We're big supporters and members, but the best aquarium I've ever been to, Boston's pretty good too. My best friend got married. I was a maid of honor, the Boston Aquarium. But the Monterey Bay Aquarium is awesome because when you walk outside, this is kind of the view. And then all the sea lions and the seals are out there barking. And those are the real, that's where they live, is out there. They're not in in the aquarium environment. They are out at sea living, but they live at the aquarium because of course they feed them. But this peninsula here is known for anchovies, which they love to eat because of the cold water. So that's what attracts them there. I digress a little bit, but these are all the things you learn when you go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And then Carmel, right next door, where Clint Eastwood was the mayor. That's the quaint downtown. You go for lunch and you walk downtown, great shopping. And then in Monterey, you can go to the aquarium. So if you had a week to spend in Northern California, we would do 2 or 3 days here, 2 or 3 days San Francisco, and then 2 or 3 days in Napa. Just depends how much time you have, how many days you would stay in each area, which interest. If you had kids, we'd probably stay here more, a little less time in Napa. Girlfriends want Napa, so it just depends what your experience you're looking for. And then you can self-drive it, or we can have a driver to take you to all the places, between all the places, so you never have to drive. And these are San Francisco. You probably don't want to drive those hills. You have to drive with 2 feet in San Francisco. So I would never take a car there. I only know driving because sometimes we'll drive up. And in Napa, if you're going to do a lot of drinking and the wine tasting, you probably don't want to. You can drive down here, but at that point, if you're not driving for those other 2 destinations, you may as well just let us take care of it for you. Sorry, you guys, need some water. Just talking a little bit. Okay, should we move on? We are going to go inland now. Yosemite Valley. You have to book Yosemite early. It's just opening up now from the COVID and the summer, but it's been booked for months. You have to book Yosemite almost a year, at least 6 months in advance. There's just not a lot of hotel there. And of course, now they are regulating how many visitors come in the park. But if this is your experience that you're looking for, it is 3 hours from anywhere. So I think we've always done a car rental. I don't think we've done any self-drives. But if you wanted to then go to Napa after Yosemite, you could drop the car and we could pick you up and then take you from there. Or vice versa. We can take you around, then we can drop you at a car rental to pick up a car and continue your adventure out to Yosemite. I could put so many pictures here. I just had time to get a few in here. But this is typical of what you see all around Yosemite. The different rock formations, the waterfalls, and all the foliage. Lots of fun. I'm a city girl, not my place to first choice, but it's tons of fun, tons of fun. All right, we're gonna continue south now. We're gonna stay inland and we're gonna continue south and head to Palm Springs, Palm Desert. Now we're talking a lot. I think it's 110 today in Palm Springs. So not necessarily a summer destination. A lot of the folks who live in Palm Springs, they winter there and then they summer more near me and the beach. Those who have 2 homes. Although there's a lot of, 2-3 month rentals now that the folks use. And I only know that because my mom sees some of them when they play cards. She says, the winter folks are here from the desert. Golf courses galore. They've got tons of flea markets, farmers markets. Every Thursday night they have Village Fest. So whenever we go out to the desert, we always go on a Thursday to catch Village Fest, where the locals, the artists, and the vendors. It's just a really cool event to walk around. And then we found another one on the weekend last time we were there in Palm Desert, even bigger. But that's more a flea market, where Village Fest is a little more authentic. It's smaller and a lot more local artists and crafts and jewelry versus the flea market. And, what you think of a flea market, there were a lot more vendors with socks and that kind of stuff at that flea market. But that was kind of fun too. We enjoyed that. Great dining. We have a huge wind farm if you want to learn about the windmills. Huge wind farm in Palm Desert. I've done that tour. And the one tour I did that it was a once in a lifetime is standing on the San Andreas Fault, which is the biggest earthquake fault in California. So we took a Jeep tour, and there's this one place they say is the absolute middle of it. So I went there, took a picture, out of there. But checked it off my list, been there, done that. So there's just all kinds of unique adventures out here in California. All right. Any questions at all? Comments?
None
Cool.
yet.
All right. We're going to go as south as we can now to San Diego. I call San Diego family-friendly San Diego Zoo, which this morning on the news, we had a baby hippo. Cutest. A baby hippo was born at the zoo last week. And it was like a mini species of hippos, like the smallest hippos that exist. This guy was so cute. He almost looked like a bulldog, or like that kind of a face and body. It was just too cute. So we got the San Diego Zoo, we got SeaWorld, we have Legoland. We can stay at the beach. If you're more budget, we can stay inland. Again, private drivers, self-drive. You don't really need a car in San Diego. Everything's downtown. This is the Hotel Del Coronado in the Bay. You can do self-pedals out in the Bay. We have harbor cruises, dinner harbor cruises that we book. And there's another nice seal enclave that in La Jolla, which is great for shopping. So never a dull moment in San Diego. If someone says we want to do a family trip or family reunion, 99% of the time San Diego is going to work. Or we could do San Diego and Southern California. Oops, I think I went the wrong way. There we go. So we can also do Southern California because we've got Warner Brothers Studios, Universal Studios, all that. However, you get a lot of that. You guys go to Florida for Disney. We don't book a lot of Disney. We book a much more authentic vacation. We have someone who can take you guys bike riding on Pacific Coast Highway. We do picnics in the vineyards in Napa. So we do a little more authentic California vacation versus a Disney or Universal. I truthfully would always book Warner Brothers, where Universal's really a theme park. Warner Brothers is a working studio. That's where they do, Ellen is taped at Warner Brothers, and Big Bang Theory, Friends, Gilmore Girls, all of those are filmed at Warner Brothers, and you can see all those sets, but you can't ride a roller coaster. So that's why we think Warner Brothers is a much truer Hollywood studio experience, and easily can combine this with a San Diego if you have a week. You can do 3-4 days in each location. You can also take the Amtrak between these destinations. So even if you're having us drive you around, or you're self-driving, you would drive up the coast. It's a gorgeous drive. It's only 2 hours. But if you're not driving, you can take the Amtrak up from San Diego to downtown LA, and then we could pick you back up there. And that rides right along the coast. All right, I think, is that, oh, yes. So that kind of does our quick California tour, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that one of the premier events that we do, I've gone to the Rose Parade for the past 33, 35 years, Tournament of Roses Parade. Just remember, it might be -50 in Rochester, but this was a picture. I actually took this picture sitting in the grandstand on a sunny Southern California day. Now, it is a little chilly in the morning. I probably have a jacket on. It's probably 50 in the morning. But by the time the parade's over and then we start the rest of the activities, it's going to be gorgeous in 60 or 70. These are our seats for the parade, looking right. You can't get a better seat than we've had for the past 35 years. And in addition, if you also want to go to the Rose Bowl, whether your team is playing or not, it's the granddaddy of all football games. Many people just want the experience of doing the whole Tournament of Roses with the parade and the game. We also take you the day before. You get to watch them finish building the floats. If you want to build a float, we can get you signed up for that experience as well. Volunteer putting the flowers on the float. Ooh, Cindy looks like she'd like to do that. A nice, good smile. Laura, too.
That sounds really cool.
Laura, you had guests with us at the Rose Parade a couple of years ago. Yeah. It's our signature event. We've been doing it 30, 40 years now. I lost track.
Very cool.
All right, well, if we don't have any California questions, there I am, long time ago.
I just wanted to say a quick question.
Cindy, I can't hear you. Cindy, unmute yourself.
Oh, I am unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Technology. Remember, we're travel planners. Now try again, Cindy.
All right, can you hear me now?
Or hold me up a sign, maybe. I can't hear you. Yeah, we're travel professionals pretending to be technology wizards, but we're trying here. We get points for trying. Yeah, I was sending an email, but I'm having a hard time monitoring it. So if it says, hold up a sign if you want at the end with any questions. I can see you. It says can't hear you. All right. Well, our parent company or our sister company is Sports Empire. For over 30 years, we have been taking, my husband and I, that, as I said, was us 30 years ago, yeah, maybe 10 years ago. We offer packages to the major North American and some European sports and special events. So starting with special events, Tournament of Roses, one of our signatures, Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. This is a great social distancing event. So if you're looking for something this fall, and very affordable as well. With us, when you travel with us, you would be able to go right out on the field where all the balloons are. We're in a private area with some other tour companies. We share a private area where we have like breakfast and coffee. And then from there, you can access the field and come back and forth and sit at your table, yet have access to the field to come back and forth and watch them launch the balloons. Mardi Gras, I'll skip over that for now. Calgary Stampede, summer event, great family fun because it takes the, New York County Fair and it combines that with a rodeo. So during the day, they have a county fair with all the sheep shearing and the eating fried Oreos and such. And then in the evening, they have a full rodeo and fireworks show. So very interesting, unique event. And I've been a couple of times, and it is tons of fun. Macy's Parade, you guys probably know all about that. I'll skip over that for right now. We don't know if it's going to happen this year. Not a good social distance event, so I have a feeling it may not go this year. Okay, we do a lot of auto racing. We offer a package to every weekend's NASCAR race, as well as the Indy 500, Daytona 500, and the US and Canadian Grand Prix. They're weekend packages, so packages will include hotel ticket and either a car rental or transportation. It varies event to event, and your travel professional can give you all the details. I just want to tease you with all the great things you can do. We can get you the details when you're ready. Baseball and basketball packages, spring training in Florida. Again, it's a little chilly in Rochester. In the winter and in March, prime time to go to Florida or Arizona for spring training. March Madness Final Four for basketball, and then the NBA and the baseball and basketball all-star games. So we can offer packages to those events.
Great.
Football, every single football game. We do a lot of Packers and Cowboys. I know you guys don't want to hear that. Being a Bostonian, it's going to be an interesting year with the Patriots, and our quarterback has moved on. So we're going to be watching a couple of teams this year. We are Packer fans here, Patriots fans, and now I guess we'll have to watch the Bucks because we're going to miss Brady and Gronk heading down to Florida to play for Tampa. Rose Bowl, College Bowl games, and of course the Super Bowl. Okay, golf and tennis. If you want to play golf or tennis, we can arrange that, but we really do more spectator. So US, French, and Australian Opens, as well as Wimbledon. Could do the Masters, the British Open, and the Ryder Cup, which is in Milwaukee in Wisconsin this fall, which we have some folks going to, hoping. And then, of course, custom golf packages in the US and Europe. We do Europe golf packages. We can get you in the lottery for the old course in Scotland. We can't guarantee it, but we know how to try and get it done. San Diego golf, Palm Springs golf, Pebble Beach golf, Myrtle Beach golf, Florida golf, all of that we can package for you. My favorite event is the Kentucky Derby, just because I love Louisville hospitality. I'm not a huge horse racing fan, but the city of Louisville just knows how to put on a party, and they really do. I have been the last 30 years, probably. It's my 30th year for Derby. I don't go anymore, but I'm always there hosting, making sure everybody's having a good time. I just don't necessarily go to the track all the time anymore. It just depends if I'm needed. But, we host our packages. You're pretty much on your own. We'll get you. You'll have your ticket, and you'll know where to meet us after. But it's not like you're in an escorted group holding hands the whole time as you attend the Kentucky Derby. You're pretty much on your own during the event, but we're at the hotel, and anywhere you need us to be, you'll find us.
That's
right?
great.
We do the Triple Crown and the Breeders' Cup. Those are our horse racing events. And I think I hit the end there. I didn't realize I had hit the end. Laura or Cindy, can you guys, either of you
Yeah.
speak, unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Take the screen back over?
Yep, if you take that screen. Can you hear me, Susan? Suzanne?
No, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I will finish then. You can see all the information you need here to get in touch with your Whitaker and Dupree travel agent, your favorite agent. And if you don't have a favorite one, Laura will be happy to become your new favorite agent. She's waving at you now. Yes. She's the one who got this all started, put me up to this, and I couldn't appreciate it more. I hope you enjoyed your quick tour of Sports Empire. We'd love to welcome you out to California anytime. I adore living out west. This is a totally laid back place to hang out, but there's just so much unique and fun stuff to do. My blood pressure is much lower since I live out west. So come join me out west and have a relaxing vacation. Any final words I wish I could say for you guys? One of you can wave?
We're so sorry.
So I just wanted to say thank you, Suzanne. I'm not sure that you can hear me, but I've heard from a couple people that they can. So I'm just going to finish things up. I know Laura and I just wanted to thank you so much on behalf of Whitaker and Dupree Travel Partners. You've been fantastic. Sounds like Suzanne has some really great experience in the area. She offered a lot of good tidbits, things that we wouldn't know otherwise, like dining suggestions and things of that nature. So really fantastic to hear from her in that regard. So, you know, thank you so much, Suzanne. We really appreciate you and spending some time with us. And hey, we are ready to get you guys booked. We are open. If you are looking for your trip for Southern California or any of California, as well as some sports adventures, we're ready to get you there. Give us a call. Our number is 585-442-8901. Again, that's 585-442-8901. We're on the web, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, not hard to find us. So give us a call, and Laura and I will be standing by, as well as all of our agents. We have Stephanie ready, we have Will ready, we have Kelly ready, we have Diane and Maxine as well. So we are all ready to get you guys off on a wonderful vacation. Thanks again for joining.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.